I'm going to talk about pricing today because it comes up a lot, whether it be equipment or how much people are getting for their DJ services. I had a guy on Facebook say that he's getting underbid a lot in his area and he's wondering what he can do about it. Well, here's the thing. Another guy on Facebook brought up a really good point I wanted to share with you. A car, for instance, is a commodity. It's to be bought and sold. And if you assume that car A and car B are the same, and car A is less expensive than car B, it's just smart to buy car A, right? Because why spend more for something that's exactly the same as the other thing? That's just smart economics for a consumer. So, if we're talking about mobile DJing, we're talking about a couple speakers, some lights, a guy with some music. Alright, they're all the same, so why would I go with any of these guys here who are really expensive when I could go with this guy right here who's not very expensive? Well, as you all know, it's not that easy. What's it really about? It's about the experience that we bring to the table. It's also about the quality that we bring to the table, not only in our equipment, because, I really think it's hard to sell how nice your equipment is to somebody initially. I'll get into that in a minute. I think what we need to sell is our experience, our professionalism, and this goes for anything you're trying to sell with your business. Uplighting comes up too, and this was actually where the question originated from. With uplighting, there are people out there who I've talked to who have said, yeah, I do $30 a fixture. So, if I do, X amount of fixtures, I get X amount of money. And then that same person came to me recently and said, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. What I'm going to do is sell this cool experience of having your room all lit up. That's more valuable than a commodity, a per fixture item. So we really need to start thinking about how we're perceiving ourselves as DJs and somehow convey that to the client. And there are a lot of ways to do that. One way is obviously by reputation. There are times when we have to just go out there for what we can get. I know, I've been there, and when those are our circumstances, we need to take advantage of that time to shine. We need to take advantage of that time to get our name out there, to sound great, to look great, to put on fantastic performances and build ourselves up as entertainers, not as a commodity. And that's the gear thing. That's where we go back to the gear. What does it matter what speakers you have? What does it matter what lights you have? It doesn't matter when you're trying to sell it to somebody, when you're trying to explain, hey, I have these speakers that cost $20,000. This DJ has speakers that cost $600. Why do you think that you would go with that guy when you can go with me? That doesn't mean anything to a consumer. Or when it's important is when they can hear the difference. When you're at that gig, when you're sounding great, when your lights look fantastic, everything's tasteful, your setup is great, everyone's dancing, having a good time, you're handling requests well, you've created an experience. You sell the experience. Now, one more thing before I wrap this video. If you think what I said is valid and you want to start thinking of yourself more as an artist and entertainer and less of a commodity, then you're not going to be able to sell to every single client that calls you. Why is this? Well, you're going to be out of their price range for one. Or maybe they just didn't budget for you. Maybe they love you, but they just can't afford you. That's a good thing. You can't be everything to everybody. And if you sell to every client or potential client that calls you, you're probably not asking enough for your services anyway. In fact, recently I got a call from a client who wanted me for her daughter's wedding. The reason she wanted me is because she got rave reviews from a gig that I did last summer. So they didn't want to know if I was available on a certain date. They wanted to know what dates I was available so they could reserve a hall for that date. They wanted me that bad because they wanted me. They didn't want two speakers and lighting. They wanted me. Now, when I gave her the price, which was pretty reasonable, she did say, wow, well, that's a lot more than I thought it would be. My reply was, I understand. Feel free to call around. There are a lot of good DJs out there. And she said, no. Please don't take that the wrong way. We'll make it happen. We were just surprised, but we're going to go with it. We got good reviews. You are who we want. That's how people think sometimes. That's my vlog for this afternoon. We'll see you later. Practice and enjoy.